been almost 2 decades since The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker was released back in late 2002. The game is considered to be one of the best action-adventure titles of the early 2000s, despite the initial reception that it got for its direction and art style, being more cartoonish and with cel-shaded graphics and all that. But looking back at it now, and it's considered a visual masterpiece by many people, myself included. And I believe, there's a lot of people that would love to see that game ported from Nintendo Switch, and there's probably those who don't want to see it ported from Nintendo Switch. But either way, the question is, should this game be ported from Nintendo Switch? Personally, I'm leaning more towards yes, because there's probably a lot of people who never got a chance to play that game. And also, I don't think we got to see Wind Waker on another Nintendo-based console outside of GameCube and Wii U, because I believe it appeared on the Wii U back in 2013. The storyline for the game was something that was pretty good, and the gameplay itself was not too difficult in comparison to the likes of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and even Breath of the Wild. Which one's the hardest out of all of them? Personally, I think it's Majora's Mask, but others will probably tell you it's Breath of the Wild. The game, after it was released back in 2002, I believe it managed to reach over 4.6 million units in terms of sales on GameCube, and it wasn't one of the strongest entries within the series from a sales perspective, but at the same time, Ocarina, because it came right after Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. I believe it was after Majora's Mask. Those two were considered among the best Zelda games of the 90s in general, and it was kind of hard to probably follow those two games in terms of quality, which is probably why the initial reception that the game got was kind of on the downside. But it wasn't a bad game at all. Like, Wind Waker was not a bad game at all. It's actually a pretty good game. I feel that's a game that deserves more credit. It's a game that a lot of people never got a chance to play because a lot of people didn't own Nintendo GameCube back in the early 2000s, because I believe in terms of sales, it only managed to reach somewhere around the ballpark of over 22 million units in terms of sales within 5 or 6 years. So a lot of people never really got a chance to play Wind Waker on GameCube, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people never got a chance to play Wind Waker on the Wii U, because the Wii U was also a game system that didn't do too big in terms of sales as well. So seeing how popular Nintendo Switch is, having Wind Waker on the Switch would definitely give more people an opportunity to play the game and become more familiar with it. And I think it's definitely something that would turn heads within the gaming world, and even bring older fans of the Zelda series, back to paying attention to what's going on with Breath of the Wild and all that stuff. So I honestly feel that, Wind Waker would definitely be an attraction on Nintendo Switch. Will it sell as much as it did back in the early 2000s on GameCube? Probably not, but there's still a lot of people who would love to see it happen.